Today's interview is with Lian Dolan. She's like Liam, but no, it's Lian. It's like the female version. I really got to know Lian like she was one of those girls I grew up with in South Boston, except, yeah, she's Irish. She has a big family, but she happens to be a New York Yankees fan. But besides that, she's awesome. She's a writer. She's a producer of the Satellite Sisters podcast, which was a nationally syndicated radio show. She has personality for days, and I think you'll enjoy this interview.
Welcome to the Purpose Rockstar Podcast, inspiring stories of people who found purpose in their careers 5 days a week. Unleash your inner rock star and tap into your highest purpose with your host, Derek Duplessis.
Welcome to the Purpose Rockstar Podcast. I'm your host, Derek Duplessis, Executive Director of the Duplessis Foundation. We're helping inner city entrepreneurs to pursue their purpose by training them to run a successful business. This show is an extension of our mission to help you and people all over the world find purpose in their work. Let me tell you a little bit about today's guest. Lian Dolan does it all. She produces the weekly podcast, The Chaos Chronicles, a fun look at modern motherhood. She writes for Oprah.com as a parenting expert. And a decade ago, Lian created Satellite Sisters, an award-winning talk show with her 4 real sisters. Her books include Helena Pasadena and Satellite Sisters Uncommon Senses. We talk about her charmed life as a professional storyteller. Should be a lot of fun. Enjoy.
Purpose Rockstars, let's do this.
Now, tell us what's exciting you right now for the future.
I am excited that people are taking podcasting into their own hands, and that what some executive somewhere says will work on a television network or on a radio station or even in a newspaper, people are disregarding that now and just doing their own thing. And for me, my love will always be audio. I mean, I loved doing the radio. I love doing this podcast right now. I love telling stories. I think it's such a special medium, audio. So I really love that almost anyone's voice can be shaped into a show now, and that you will find an audience. We were just at a conference together, you and I, the New Media Expo, and there was a young woman doing a show for young women who had gone through eating disorder recovery, and that's such a special, niche community. And she was worried that she only had 200 listeners, and she'd been on the air 7 months, and how could she up her listeners? And I just remind her, I said, you are really, really important to those 200 people, which is extraordinary. 7 months ago, those people didn't have you in their lives, and now you have 200 women that are listening to you every week, and you're changing their life with your voice. And that's incredible. So you will grow, your audience will grow, but cherish the audience you have now. And that excites me, that people with all different stories can put together something that will touch people all over the world.
Awesome. That's, to get me some shivers.
Yeah. It could be you, Derek. It is you,
Yeah, it is, sure.
Great that you can do this, from the privacy of your own office or home or closet or wherever you are. It's unbelievable
yes.
Because when we started our podcast 5 years ago, that technology did not exist. You actually had to be pretty good technically. You had to pay someone to do some of this stuff. And now it's super easy. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah. I want to take 60 seconds with you and talk about the Chaos Chronicles show.
Okay.
How that came to be, and sort of a show on Nick Jr. Just take us through that. It's sort of real interesting to me.
Right. The Chaos Chronicles, it started as a magazine column in Working Mother magazine, a 600-word humor column that I wrote about my life as a working mom. And I thought that there needed to be that voice on the radio. because there weren't that many working moms talking about their existence on the radio. And I loved writing that little 600-word column. For 5 years I did it. And then it morphed into segments on my radio show. And then I created my own website and podcast based on the Chaos Chronicles. And along the way, I have a friend who's a TV writer. She said, you do such good material. Why don't we try to shape it into a sitcom? Pitch it as a TV show. And I went back to those original columns, and they were almost written like little 3-act sitcoms. And so that's exactly what we did. We created a sitcom pitch, a mom who does a podcast in her closet, her husband a pediatrician. My husband's not, but we had to give him a better job. and I had to add a kid. I have only 2 boys, but I added a third for more chaos. And we took it out to all the networks, and Nickelodeon bought it. I actually, and I was able to co-write the TV pilot, which is pretty unusual, but because I had so much writing experience and the magazine experience, they let me do it. Usually they would just buy the rights. Now, we didn't make it on the air, but we spent 9 months developing and writing with Nickelodeon. It was a family sitcom for their Nick at Night block, and they picked Scott Baio's show over ours. That Chachi killed us, but okay, fine, Chachi. But it was an absolutely fantastic experience. I love doing it.
Oh, I love Chachi. It sounds like he just called you.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought the battery was dead in that phone.
It's all good. It's all good. Just having a little fun.
There's more to that interview. Yeah, more. And you can find all of it at purposerockstar.com. Link is right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. So it's really, really awesome that you can go to purposerockstar.com. If you're one of those on-the-go Apple people, you can check it out on iTunes. There's the link. And for my non-Apple people, I'm going to make sure there's a link on Stitcher somewhere next to me. So you got iTunes, Stitcher, and purposerockstar.com. Tell your friends, tell your family. We're on Twitter and Facebook, and somehow we'll be on LinkedIn. I don't know. But at least we'll be on Twitter and Facebook. And one final favor. Pursue your purpose. It needs you.